Hello, Emmanuel. I'm just going to give you a little update of what's been going on within some of the things that are happening in the church. Over the last couple weeks, we have been continuing to have committee meetings and council meetings and staff meetings, and I thought I'd just give a little bit of an update today as to what we've been talking about, a little highlight of what's been going on. So about 10 days ago, we had a worship committee meeting. We are finishing off, in some ways, the story. We finished the official story, but we've been continuing the story through history. And this Sunday, looking forward to that, we are going to have a Heart Song Sunday, which is really continuing the story in the people that are attending Emmanuel. What is God's upper story doing in our story? And following that up, next week we are having a virtual Camp Squia retreat, where it's very similar to that same idea as to what God has been doing through Squia in many ways in our lives over the years. We also talked about looking into our summer series. We're excited. We're kind of going to do a Learning to Follow Christ in a COVID-19 world. There's an advantage to not being together. We are going to have some of our international workers bringing the message from overseas, so they're going to record over there, and they're going to be on our screens on a Sunday morning or Monday evening, depending on when you're watching. As well as we're going to have some of our own people and trying to figure out what does it look like now following Jesus in this time. What does that look like? Is it the same, different? Is it different and the same? Is it same and different? Anyway, I'm looking forward to what's going to come out there. On this last Tuesday, we had a council meeting, and we talked about a lot, but one of the things that we did bring up is this idea of how are we eventually going to start up? We are wanting to get together again, but the questions on how soon, what does it look like, what can we do, and what are we not allowed to do moving forward? These are all questions that continue to be, that we continue to wrestle with at council, and we will try to keep you up to date when we know something more concrete. We are also getting a summer student this summer, and we're trying to figure out how we are going to be able to connect with our kids and potentially others outside of our church this summer some way, whether it's a VBS in person or some other things. And so we are excited about that. And stay tuned for more information there too. On Wednesday, we had another transition team meeting. We have been working quite hard now that things have got a little bit more stabilized in how we can gather together. We have created a update report of everything that we have sort of come together with, and I thank the team for compiling that. And it is going to be emailed out today as well for those people who want to see a copy of it. If you don't, or if you know someone who doesn't have email and would like a copy, please contact us, and we will try and get them a hard copy of it. Or if you prefer to have a hard copy, contact us, and we will print one up and see how we can get that off to you. One of the recommendations that came from the team was that we wanted to have transition discussion groups. Where we started talking together, and of course we've been wanting to do that in a larger setting, but right now in this period we're trying to figure out, well, what does that look like? So the team has come up with the idea of creating 3 different meeting times over the summer. We have divided Abbotsford and Outer Abbotsford into 20 smaller geographic groups, and we are going to have 3 meetings basically talking about what draws us to church. And in this time, what is kind of missed? What are the things that are the most important that we find in this world, this COVID-19 sort of world? We are also going to engage in pastoral searches based on what draws us to church. Who are going to replace the Beckys and Chris's and eventually me, and what should that look like? So some of those conversations are going to come out of that. And again, what keeps us together, not just what draws us together, but what keeps us together. So that opportunity to create discussions on how we can continue to have difficult discussions, but still learn how to love one another. So we're going to talk a little bit about that over the summer and try and figure some things out there. So really would appreciate, we're contacting leaders. If you get a phone call, we would love for you to join a team. If for some reason you can't, or social distancing isn't going to be possible, or it's uncomfortable for you, again, we would love to hear your feedback. So we're going to have a feedback form, but I think our value of community means we want to be able to where at all possible, talk face to face. And so it's going to be in geographic regions. And so you're joined with people who live close to you. Now, maybe not always our best friends, but maybe that's going to be a good thing. And I think that was intentional on our part. On Thursday, we had a deacon meeting and continue to discuss how we can continue to care for one another, those that are hurting, those that are celebrating. Also trying to recognize that we don't always know the stories until someone tells us. So if there are people that are hurting, we want to know. So, and also if there are people that are not connected, I know there's a lot of people that are connecting in their small groups that they had connected with prior to this. Just looking forward to seeing how that might play out, and if you're not connected, how we might find ways to connect you, because that's so important in this time. And that was brought up quite a bit at Deacon meeting last night. We continue to meet with staff weekly. There continues to be good work by Joel, who gets a lot of credit because he does all his video stuff, with Gerald and Laura, and they continue to do good work with the church. So just in closing, I would just ask that you would continue to pray for all of the leaders of all of our committees, not including the ones that I don't attend, so MPJ and education and finance. And realistically, there are so many amazing and important people. So pray for the leadership of EMC as we try and continue to make decisions going forward. For those people who don't have internet, let us know or pass some of this information on to them. We would love to be able to make sure that they stay connected in this time. And again, just a reminder that if you are feeling disconnected, or if you know someone who's feeling disconnected, please contact any of the leaders, any of the people that are at Emmanuel, because we want to be able to walk with each other through this time, and no matter where things are. So just a little update. God bless all of you. Looking forward to our service this Sunday as we do some heart song together.